of the world, and now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah. And if it's good, I won't even worry anymore. Took all my cares, still can kick them all out the door. Go on and try, come and tell me what you're waiting for. Move and keep going till your life is overflowing, yeah. I do a dance of victory. Cause now I'm living good, no I'm not living like I used to be. Now talk about things, talk about my mind. Now I'm free from the words that I left behind. I gotta jump for joy and shout aloud and make a sound. Oh, the world can stop me now, no. And on the music I will ride on the beat. Play my guitar while I'm stomping my feet, yeah. I gotta celebrate life and get excited about good times and good living. Come on, shout it out, hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul and now you got me singing, oh, hey, oh. I feel the fun, smiling big, feeling right like I should. Life is better than good, yeah, you got me singing, oh, hey, oh. Standing up on top of the world tonight, and everything's working out just right. And while the world is spinning, it's a brand new beginning, and we finally win. So take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul, and now you got me singing, oh, 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 we gotta be the best we can be. And though sometimes we don't want to, still we gotta just reach up and reach high, because we're gonna blow through. Even though it gets hard to get to make it happen, but we can't stop, come on and do what you gotta do to fight on. So no matter what comes your way, nothing can ruin your day or even wipe a smile away. I got 100 new ideas floating around in my head, with the hope for tomorrow, a dream that I can see of all the awesome things and great people we can be. Maybe by the music or the songs that I sing, I'll change the world with the simple message that it will bring. All I know is that it's out there, there's more to discover, a lot of good things we can learn from one another. Gotta celebrate life, get excited about the times that God never. Come on and shout it out, hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul, and now you got me singing, oh. Life is better than good, yeah, you got me singing, oh, hey, I'm standing up on top of the world tonight, and everything's working out just right. And while the world is spinning, it's a brand new beginning, and we finally win. Hey, so take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul, and now you got me singing, oh,
Awesome. That's a good way to start the morning. Good morning, District 5030 Rotarians, and welcome to the final session of the month in our Festival Training online program to help prepare Rotarians in our district for the coming Rotary year starting July 1st. This will be the 37th session of the month, which is just incredible. This morning's session, looking back and looking ahead, will be led by our District Governor Bill McElroy from the Mill Creek Club and our District Governor-elect Kathy Gibson from Seattle 4. My name is Henry Wong from the Seattle International District Club, and I'll be the tech support for this session and helping to moderate questions. We've been starting each session with the vision of Rotary International, just to put a good framework on what we do. That is, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Some quick Zoom instructions before we start. All attendees are automatically muted in webinar mode. If you have any questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen on your Zoom control panel. At the end, you can use the raise hand button to indicate if you have a question to ask live, and we can turn on your audio. We'll ask that you reserve the chat box for sharing info and links. And then as a reminder, these sessions and all sessions have been recorded and will be posted to the Festival's District of Train or the District's Festival of Training YouTube playlist. And also as a reminder, there's 2 bonus sessions next Thursday, June 4th, from 5 to 6 and 7 to 8. So definitely check with your club leadership and the district website for more info there. And now I'm happy to turn it over to Bill.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday. I wish it was like yesterday. It was a little bit warmer. I'm in the thunderstorm situation up here up north, so if I lose power, I'm going to have to automatically go to Kathy. She's down in West Seattle. The theme is Rotary Connects the World. That's the thing that we had for 2019 and 2020. And it was ironic that the theme, Rotary Connects the World, is so important in today's time. Next slide, please. What you saw on the video is what I presented to the presidents about a year ago during PET's President-elect Training Seminar. And one of the things I did, I laid out what's called the Gimme 5 goals. Next screen, please. The Gimme 5 goals, it's quite simple, but it was a 5% increase in membership, a 5% increase in retention, and 5 members in the membership committee, and 5% increase in foundation and giving, and 5% increase in direct giving. Next goal. Next, please. Next slide, please. So let's talk about membership for a second. There are 15 clubs in the district out of 46 that have actually met the goal of 5% or more growth, which is really good. At the moment, the district is down 0.7% for the year as far as the number of members. I think we're off by about 2 members from the beginning of July of last year. So we still have a little ways to go, but the good news is that we got 15 clubs that have reached the goal that I set down with increasing 5%. Next slide, please. So retention is one of the most important things. Go back a slide. There we go. So retention is one of the things. We have a situation where we have, for every 10 members coming in, joining a Rotary, we have 10 members coming out. If we can turn that faucet off on the back side, plug up the holes, as they say, within the bucket. So we had a 28.5% reduction in members leaving. We had 319 people leave last year. This year, we've had 228 people leave this year. So remember, we only are pretty much flat for the year, which means we brought in about 226 people. So we still have to concentrate on this, but the goal is to reduce it by 5%. We reduced it by 28.5%. So we're on our way of retention and making sure that the retention is really good. So that's actually a really good start coming into Kathy's year. Next slide, please.
And Bill, there's a comment to speak up just a little louder.
Go ahead. Read the comment, Henry.
Just to speak a little louder.
Oh, okay. Let me turn up my microphone then. Give me a second. I'll boost it up to the max. There we go. And I might speak. Thank you so much. So the membership goal, we had a goal of 5 people on every membership committee. And the membership committee is very important. And if you really stop and take a look what a membership committee does, or a membership chair is supposed to do, they have to identify the people, they have to invite people in, they have to put them in some type of database, inform the people, educate the people, orientate the people, the members, involve the members, and then we involve with retention. That's a full-time job. So it was Mark Maloney's intention to say we have to have 5 people on this to share the responsibility. I haven't gotten word back from the presidents yet exactly how that laid out. I know that some of the presidents were actually involved in this process, and so we're having a president meeting here on Monday. That's one of the questions I'll be asking, is that I wanted to make sure that the membership committee is in place and done, because it's so important to have these different aspects taken care of as far as the membership is concerned. Next slide, please. So foundation giving. This is probably one of the things that we should be so proud about. We had a 28% increase in foundation giving this year. $1 million $23,000 versus $797,000. The goals, we had a 30% increase of clubs establishing goals. And this is important to understand, is that if you're going to run a business, and Rotary is a business per se on each club level, you have to have goals. We still have 50% of the clubs don't have goals. And so it's really hard to say, okay, how are we doing? How are you measure yourself? How are you measure a year? So I'm encouraging everybody next year with Kathy's year to have the president-elects go ahead and make sure the goals are implemented. If you just think about the fact that we had a 30% increase in clubs establishing goals, and we had a 28% increase in giving, I think there's some type of correlation that we could figure out on this. Next slide, please. So the foundation giving as of April 30th, you're going to have to go ahead and applaud for yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. We are #1 in the zone. Our district is #1 in the zone. We are 27th in the world as a district. There's about 520 districts. Per capita, we are #1 in the zone in foundation giving. We're 19th in the world. And polio, we are #2 in the zone, and we're behind by only $1,500. You want to be a leader? District 5030 is a leader in what we do and what we do in foundation giving. Next slide. So direct giving is also one of my goals I had. I had a 5%, wanted to get a 5% increase for direct giving. Well, if you have a penny and you double the penny, you're increasing it by 100%. We had 8% of the members last year had direct giving, and that increased to 10%. Well, that's a 25% increase, but I'm disappointed a little bit. I would have liked to see really it go up to 13 to 14% total, total people giving for direct giving. That is when you actually have an automatic payment system set up on your accounts, because consistency is one of the most important things that you can do with the foundation. Next slide. And if you go, when you think about this for a second, the foundation giving over the last, since COVID started, we gave away $350,000 in community grants, community efforts, right locally within our own communities. We had over 110 grants processed through the foundation committee, and I think it's on one of the slides. When I spoke to the clubs, these are the points that I emphasized. And I emphasized the importance of family and Rotary. We are a family. We are unbelievable on how we do things, how we help each other out, and examples over examples. And I gave a couple of them when I actually spoke. And I said the importance of also having fun. This shouldn't be a full-time job. If you actually share the responsibility, especially with the membership, for instance, having 5 people work in that committee, what should have been a full-time job to keep track of the members, if 5 people are helping and things like this, we're talking about a half an hour a week, and that allows you to have fun. The other item that we were emphasizing this year was technology. Who would have thought about the fact that we would have had this COVID situation and we're on Zoom? A year ago, we really didn't have any Zoom at all. We were just experimenting it out. We were using it with the finance committee for the first time. And it was in July 1st of this year that we decided to have 2 Zoom accounts. And we were able to go ahead and launch that out to the clubs when the COVID-19 hit. Another thing that happened was online training. With the help of Gene Withers back in October, November, we wanted to do things that were online training. Look at the festival of training that we have right now. This is a direct result of the technology that was embracing at the beginning of the year and how we ended up right now. And the other thing I stress so much during my speech is that the work that we do so well, but you'll never know the people that we touch. And I gave some examples with the Boys Club, for instance, and with Adam Cornell. And I had no idea who Adam Cornell was until he actually spoke at our club. And he was a 40-year-old, and it was something that I was responsible back at the Kirkland Club as we actually built this Boys and Girls Club. We're part of it, and here's a direct result. We'll never know the people we touched, and these stories are over and over and over again, all through Rotary. And then there's the importance of the foundation. We cannot do these things without the importance of the foundation. Next slide. I touched on this earlier. I have signed over 180 grant applications this year since COVID started basically in March 1st. I have 110 grant applications. We've had 3 different things going on. We had the initial grant, which is a matching grant. We had AG grants that came in because we had to redo the AG grants ever since the district conference canceled and we didn't have the food packaging event. So that released money back to the AG, back to the clubs and AG grant. And then we had the $25,000 coming back from Rotary International with the emergency designated funds that way. So, you know, $350,000 this is something that you need to be proud of the fact. And we decided as a group, as the president selected and made the vote, we wanted to have the clubs have the responsibility of making sure that they do this in their own community. This is the importance of having, because having it in your own community gives you that community support, gives you the community connection which is needed, and that's what Rotary is all about. Next slide, please. So we have a fantastic year. It's been a wild year. If I would have known that I would have had to wear a seatbelt this whole time, as they say, buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride. It was a very bumpy ride. You should be proud of yourselves on what we're doing and what we've done in the community. You should be proud of the fact and how we help each other out and how we have fun. We should be proud of the fact that we are a Rotary family. Why? Because we are people of action. I was so proud to be your district governor. My title is IPDG, immediate past district governor elect. So I'm only got about a month to go. Kathy's on next. Kathy Gibson, it's all yours, Kathy.
Thank you, Bill, and really thank you from the entire district for your leadership this year and right through to June 30th. So good morning, fellow Rotarians. I want to give you an opportunity to take a look ahead with me at what's coming in the year ahead. We've got a new Rotary year starting on July 1st. And back in January, the theme for the coming year was introduced, and it's Rotary Opens Opportunities. And in the lower left-hand corner of every slide during our training festival is the 3 doors that represent the opportunities that Rotary will be opening in the coming year. And I finally got a backdrop that reflects it as well. Rotary is going to be opening opportunities for all of us to serve and to support our communities, to network, to build relationships, membership, all kinds of opportunities, and some that probably weren't even envisioned back when the theme was disclosed in January. But I think it was very prophetic, this particular theme, in light of what has transpired and the state of affairs as we move forward into the coming Rotary year. So we are going to continue to grow Rotary, and there are all kinds of opportunities to do that at the club level and at the international level. And I'm going to share some of those with you in a moment. We are going to be starting in the 2020-2021 Rotary year, the beginning of Rotary International's 5-year action plan. And each component of it, I think, is going to be extremely relevant as we look ahead and ask ourselves, what can we Rotarians do here in District 5030? And just at a high level, here are the 4 components of what we'll be focusing on and in support of the international action plan. First, to increase our impact, and we certainly have been doing that, and Bill shared some very impressive statistics on our impact in terms of foundation giving and the grants out in our community as part of our COVID relief efforts across the district. We already are increasing our impact, and we'll be looking for ways to sustain that going forward. We want to expand our reach, and largely that's code for grow our membership and to find more ways to engage in our community. Members, past members who may want to consider rejoining Rotary, identifying individuals who've had some connection to Rotary in the past, and finding literally friends of Rotary who may not be able to join our club, but can join our efforts in terms of projects and fundraisers, partners. We want to enhance participant engagement. And that to me is member engagement and member satisfaction. And that will be an ongoing theme in the coming year. We want to take care of each other. We want to take care of our members. And that means having member-centric activities that really are relevant and meaningful to our members. And last but not least, increase our ability to adapt. To some extent, we've been forced into this, but we would have been pushing on innovation nevertheless. And this particular situation with our public health crisis gives us an opportunity to adapt and to innovate. And I want to make sure across all of our clubs and certainly at the district level that we are taking advantage of this unique opportunity to try new things and see what works and learn some lessons and continue to adapt. And last but not least, despite what's going on in the world at large and some concerns as we read the headlines every day, we have Rotary values, and those transcend everything. And it gives us a bedrock as we look ahead. And I'll have you click one more time, Henry, for the rest of the Rotary values. There are 5 of them: leadership, integrity, service, diversity, and fellowship. And we need to keep these in mind and live our Rotary values every day. And let that be what, when people say, what's Rotary? Rotary, this is Rotary. We lead with integrity, we serve, we embrace diversity, and we embrace each other through fellowship. Our incoming Rotary International president is Holger Knack. He's a Rotarian from Germany, a very energetic, very optimistic leader. And I can tell you, he's feeling a lot of cabin fever because right now he would typically be traveling the world, meeting Rotarians, and he's stuck in his home just outside of Hamburg, Germany. But I asked him if he would share his view of the coming year with us. And Henry, if you can click through, we've got a brief video from Holger Knack, our incoming Rotary International president.
Dear friends in Rotary, we all love Rotary, and all of us have taken on great responsibility. This is our opportunity to strengthen our network, not for our personal glory, but for the good of Rotary. We believe that our acts of service, big or small, create opportunity for the people who need our help. And we also know that every act of service will inspire and change us. Rotary is not just a club that you join. It is an invitation to endless opportunities. Rotary opens opportunities for the people we serve and for ourselves. I've asked the district governors to deliver 4 messages to clubs. This is briefly: first, we want to grow by new, different, innovative club models that meet the needs of young professionals and Rotaractors. And I'm asking you to support those new clubs in your area and think about creating your innovative satellite club. Second, please host at least one strategic meeting a year and asking where your club wants to be in 5 years and what value it brings to your members. Third, I wish your club to grow, but please select your members carefully and make sure that they are a good fit to your club and that your club meets their expectations. And please take care of them. And by the way, there is no wrong age to become a Rotarian. Fourth, even though everything right now is about the coronavirus, please continue your club efforts to end polio by donating to End Polio Now. We must fulfill our promise. we made to the children of this world. And based on our strategic plan, together, we will grow Rotary. Now, the coronavirus has changed the world, and we cannot longer meet in person as usual. And we don't know how long this will continue. But that's the only real change. Everything else remains. We now come together virtually, like today. We can see each other. We can discuss together, listen to a speaker, and plan new projects. And we share the Rotary values, and we all share our four-way test. And even in times of crisis, and especially now, Rotaries open opportunities for us and for the people who need our help. With our commitment to service above self, we will be able to overcome one of the greatest humanitarian challenges. Of course, everyone wants us to get back to normal. But in Rotary, this is the time for change. This is the time to be revolutionary. Let's take the opportunity now to make Rotary ready for the future. I'm asking you, please, put everything on test. Frequency and manner of your meetings, your location, day, time, procedures, your events, selection of new members, fundraising projects, your projects, simply everything. Your club can become more attractive, flexible, and effective. Don't waste the opportunity. I would like to thank you for your commitment to our great organization. Everything we do opens another opportunity for someone, somewhere. Thank you very much, and stay healthy.
So we've heard from Holger Knack, our incoming Rotary International president, and he'll take the helm July 1st. So he talked about 4 things, and I just want to recap them for us. First of all, launching new clubs in every district. And this is happening all over the Rotary world, and you'll start to see it happening here in District 5030. And I'm going to speak to that in just a moment in greater detail. He's inviting every club to rethink their future. You may have a strategic plan, you may have an old strategic plan, but this year will be an opportunity to come back and refine or review or update where you see your club in the next 5 years. And the district will have some resources to support that, but we'll be encouraging some strategic thinking across all the clubs, and the district will be doing it as well as we plan for our future. We're going to continue to grow membership, and I'm going to speak in a moment to how we're going to do that. And we're going to maintain our ongoing commitment to polio eradication. Those were the 4 formal requests that our RI president has made. But I think I heard a 5th one, and that's to innovate, to try new things. Some may be successful and some may fall short, but we have a unique opportunity where there's a grace period, if you will, to experiment. And all clubs will be encouraged to consider that at all different aspects of their planning, meeting, organizing, fundraising. This will be a year of experimentation and potential innovation. And we'll be finding forums so that we can share our successes and share our lessons learned. So there's a lot that's expected at the club level. I'd like to give you just a quick preview of what we'll be working on at the district level, because a lot of it will have an impact on the clubs as well. And the #1 job of the district is to support clubs. So each of these initiatives is intended to be supporting clubs and club members. So first of all, we are going to take a proactive step in elevating Rotaract. If you've been reading the Rotarian magazine or following developments across the Rotary world, Rotaractors are our partners. They're essentially another category of membership, and we will be elevating Rotaract in our district, establishing a Rotaract committee at the district level, populating district committees with Rotaractors, and engaging Rotaractors with Rotarians in a more visible and practical and proactive way in the year ahead. And I'm excited about that, and I think our Rotaractors are as well. We want to enhance our public image. I know so often we say, oh, we're the best kept secret. We're going to try this year to move the needle on that, to try to grow awareness. And we have a very active and engaged district public image committee that is working on that. You will be seeing over the course of the coming year public service announcements promoting Rotary. You will see buses rolling down our streets with big Rotary ads. You'll be hearing spots on various media like public radio promoting Rotary. And you'll see a much more active and visible presence in social media, all in an effort to get the word out about Rotary, who we are and what we do, and most importantly, inviting individuals to come and join us. We're going to pursue what's called club extension, and that was the very first request that Rotary International President Holger talked about. Club extension basically means growing new clubs, and I've got a slide in a moment that's going to drill down a little bit more on what that's going to look like in our district. We want to continue to offer relevant training and development. And we are going to be doing that through a continuation of our new member orientations that we offer at the district level. We are going to be partnering with Toastmasters International, another organization that provides opportunities to improve communication and leadership skills. We are partnering with them at our district level, and there'll be a variety of programming and training to help our Rotarians be even better communicators. And the intent is here so that we can better tell our Rotary story and also invite a large group of Toastmasters International members to join us in service, fellowship, and networking. We want to be introducing, or we will be introducing, an updated version of the Rotary Leadership Institute in our district. This is training about Rotary, and it's embraced at the districts all around our district, and we are going to be bringing it into District 5030 in the coming year, and I'm excited about that. And there'll be other opportunities for training to help make us better Rotarians, more effective Rotarians. We want to continue to grow our youth programs, and in particular, grow RILA and Interact. I'm going to be encouraging every club to sponsor at least one student for RILA 2021 next spring. We want to be growing our Interact presence. We have a strong base of Interact clubs in our district, but our young people in high schools can benefit from the Rotary experience, appreciating our four-way test, our Rotary values. And so we will be proactive in the coming year in terms of growing Interact. We are a Peace Builder district this year, and we will continue to be a Peace Builder next year. And I will just make an editorial comment right now. As I read the headlines and watch the news, our world needs peace, understanding, acceptance, inclusion. And we as Rotarians need to lead that effort. And as a peace building district, we can do that. And we will be taking steps to make sure those of us who want to be active in that front have a platform to do that. That we as Rotarians take a stand for peace and justice in our community as well as around the world. I am very excited that we will be launching a campaign around environment and sustainability, and that will take two forms. We are launching a district committee focused on environment and sustainability, and it will help organize all of the variety of projects and initiatives at the club level and provide a forum at the district level for more sharing and collaboration on this front. And we are also going to be establishing our first cause-based club, Rotarians devoted exclusively and focused on our environment. And I'll be speaking about that again in a moment because that speaks to the club extension, the new club initiative. But our focus on the environment and sustainability is a little bit overdue, and we are going to make a big push on that front this year and into the future. And lastly, we're going to continue to be strategic. There's a lot that we want to accomplish in this year, but we want to build for the future. Rotary has a very bright future, and our district has a very bright future. So all of the things that we are working on this year, the intent is for those to continue and build a foundation for even more exciting initiatives and greater efforts in the coming years. So let me share with you just a little bit more about club extension, adding new clubs in our district. We are setting an ambitious goal to add 10 new clubs over the next 3 years. We want to meet the needs of more people in our region who can't quite fit because of schedule, financial constraints, whatever it happens to be, can't quite fit into the traditional clubs. It's to bring more people into Rotary. One of the initiatives within our traditional club framework is to create satellite clubs, clubs within clubs, and you'll continue to hear more about this. Initiating satellite clubs is a great way to broaden and expand your own club membership. But these new clubs that will be coming online in our district, I just mentioned the environmental, climate, sustainability, cause-based club. There are many that are already in place in other parts of our country. They're warmly received, experiencing great success because people care about the environment. They care about sustainability, and Rotary does, and we are going to have a club focused on those issues for folks to join us and become Rotarians through their passion for our environment. We are looking at employer-based clubs. We live in a community where there is a lot of corporate philanthropy. We have a lot of businesses that care about our community, that step up and provide volunteers and financial support. These are Rotarians in waiting, and we are in the process of reaching out to major and mid-size organizations around our community to see if their groups of community volunteers inside those workplaces would like to join forces with Rotary and form internal Rotary clubs inside those organizations, inside those workplaces. We're also looking, because it's met with success in other parts of the country, that here in our region, we have a young leaders club, a young professionals club. We're not sure exactly how we're going to label it, but there is a club of just Rotarians, let's say under 40, although the age is not, the age limit isn't that important. But what's important is it's an opportunity for young people to lead and participate in a Rotary club that is theirs. And we are taking some of the early steps to explore how that might come to pass in our district. We're looking at the other end of the age spectrum. I don't know how many have heard of Elder Act, but these are opportunities for retired individuals to come together in service, continue to pursue Rotary, but perhaps without all of the formality of coming into town for a meeting. And so we're exploring the opportunity of establishing Elder Act clubs in some of our retirement communities. And so far we're getting some good feedback. All of these efforts are going to require a lot of work, but we're starting to make some progress on each of these fronts. And one of the ones that I'm excited about as well is Rotary is promoting hobby or avocation-centric clubs. One that is kind of intriguing that's out there is a group of pilots who do it for fun. Some of them might have been professional pilots in their past, but they're coming together as Rotarians, as a Flying Rotarians Club. And they're using their experience and their passion for flying to do good, to deliver services and goods to communities that need it. I'm not necessarily suggesting that we're going to have a Flying Rotarians Club in 5030, but we're looking at opportunities to bring together individuals who've got a common interest in something fun, and they want to put that into service for our community. So we will likely have some hobby or avocation-centric clubs emerging in our district. All right. A little bit more on some of those other district initiatives on that punch list. On the training and development, I already mentioned it, but I just want to reinforce it because there is a lot of work being done right now to get these teed up for the year ahead. The first one is Toastmasters. The second one is the Rotary Leadership Institute. And then continuing to provide district specific, whether it's the training assembly, which is now morphed into the training festival. We've got an exciting training offering coming up that you'll hear more about in the fall called a Vibrant Club Workshop. And it will pull together foundation, membership, and public image. And so individuals and clubs that are championing membership, public image, and foundation will have an opportunity to come together for some more training on tools and approaches that we're finding to be effective, and they may be able to take back and deploy in their clubs. I talked about the youth programs, RILA and Interact in particular. Our Peace Builder initiatives, you'll be hearing a lot more about that. And in particular, save the date for September 21st, United Nations International Day of Peace, we will be observing in our district. And being more strategic, which is good planning and forward looking at the club level and at the district level. So the #1 job of our district is to support clubs, to support club leaders, and to support all Rotarians. And as district governor, I can't do that alone. And so I am so pleased to introduce to you our district leadership team. These are Rotarians around our district, some of them stepping up for the first time, some of them coming back for another year of service. District trainer, our finance chair, information and technology, continuing to lead the important work of our foundation, and then membership, the new Environmental and Sustainability Committee. International service will continue to be important. Our youth services, Peace Builders, you can see them there. I am so proud of this team. And so they are here to help and support initiatives in these areas at the club level. There also are 12 absolutely awesome assistant governors who have agreed to serve in the coming year. Our district is divided into areas, and there's 3 or 4 clubs in every area. So please welcome these assistant governors when they visit a club, your club, when they come to a board meeting or to a club project or to a club fundraiser. They are a resource. They have an opportunity to see what's going on in a variety of clubs, and they are the ones that can get answers and help provide some solutions for you inside of club committees, at the board level, at the club leadership level. These folks are totally devoted to the success of the clubs in their areas. So I encourage you, reach out and tap them and embrace and welcome them. And if any of the assistant governors are online right now, I want to thank you for stepping up, because that is probably the biggest job in Rotary, is being an assistant governor. And some final thoughts. I appreciate everybody listening to what I've had to say so far. I want to come back to our international vision, which I think resonates now more than ever. And as I look ahead, probably like a lot of you, I have more questions than answers about what the future holds. But one thing I do know is I am so glad I am a Rotarian, that I have Rotary in this very turbulent and unprecedented time. And I hope you feel the same way, and that you will double down with me in terms of service to our community, outreach to our fellow members, and to the new members that will be joining us in the year ahead. And I am honored to serve you as your district governor in the year ahead. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathy and Bill. So now we're going to turn over to Q&A. And as a reminder, the bottom of your Zoom control panel, there's a Q&A button. You can ask your questions there, or we also welcome you to raise your hands and we can allow you to ask your question live. So we have a couple of questions already queued up. So from Susan, in terms of the environment, climate cause space club, would there be an opportunity to have dual membership? So not leave your current club, but join the new club also?
Right now, Rotary does not allow Rotarians to be members of more than one club. But you can certainly be a friend of that club or an ally of that club. If you are in a traditional club, an existing club right now, and you care about the environment, then organize a committee inside the club, participate with the district committee on environment and sustainability, and then partner with the new club. The new club is intended to bring in new Rotarians who are active and involved in the environmental, climate, clean tech, sustainability fields.
And then we have a question from David to put up the district goals. So I'm going to actually put up the link for the recording, for the YouTube recordings, where you'll be able to see that, and then we can get you the slides as well. And then we have a hand raised. From Sala. I will allow you to speak now.
Hi, Sala.
Sala, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
There we go. This is a follow-up to the first question, in that I really support the creation of these new clubs, but part of the value of Rotary is people across age groups and professions and perceptions communicating with each other. So I hope as they're created, there's some kind of encouragement or requirement that they communicate with other clubs so that that continues.
Absolutely, Sala. They're joining us. These are additional new clubs, but they are part of our district, and they will integrate in with all of the district activities and support and be, club partners with other clubs. The intention is not for these to be set aside, but to welcome them into our Rotary family, but by giving them individual clubs that are coming into our Rotary family.
Thank you.
You're muted, Henry.
Oh, sorry. David Della, I'm going to allow you to ask your question.
Okay, thank you. First of all, Bill, thank you very much for your services last year, and it's been my pleasure to serve with you as president of the Seattle International District Club, and congratulations, and look forward to working with you, Kathy, in the next year. My question is, so here's my issue. So I think someone made reference to some of the news lately with Minneapolis and other things going on around the country. And so I'm personally pained around some of these issues about racist attacks on people in two forms. One, the Minneapolis issue is very clear. And to me, that incident is a symptom of a larger issue that remains in our country and becomes a barrier for people to really realize full equality economically, socially, and as human beings, right? The other is closer to home, which is because there's been reference to the coronavirus starting in China, there's been lots of racist attacks against Asian Americans in our community. And in our district, in Seattle International District, many of our businesses have also been victims of break-ins and notices put up going back to China and go back to Asia. And so I'm trying to figure out a way in which we can mitigate this through dialogue, through concrete measures to bring people together to dialogue this, be it police, communities, or others. And I'm wondering if there's a role that Rotary can play in mitigating this kind of peace-building effort at a local level, given those type of incidents.
Well, I will speak personally. I believe Rotary must play a role. I don't think it's an option. We can't be Rotarians and live our values and stand idle while we see a lot of these incidents going on. In terms of what we can do, I have a whole host of ideas. I know Jessica Bouillon, who is our district Peace Builder chair, has a lot of initiatives underway for the coming year. And there's also an opportunity, I think, at the club level in individual communities to take a stand. So I'd love to take this conversation offline, but I want to make sure we answer it and we take action and not sit by idly as we see the unspeakable things happening in our community. We know as Rotarians the difference between right and wrong, and we are seeing a lot of wrong, and we need to stand up for what is right.
Thank you, Kathy. A couple more questions queued up. So a question from Jeffrey. Kathy, do you want to mention the work that Seattle 4 is doing with the local NAACP?
I don't know if everybody wants to hear about it. Jeff, is there any particular aspect of that you'd like to share? And Jeff is our incoming president at Seattle 4.
Jeff, feel free to type in the chat and we'll go. Larry asks, with all these specialized clubs, do we run the risk of destroying the strength of the diversity in Rotary clubs?
I don't think so. This is a way to add Rotarians. Obviously, what the thinking is at the Rotary International level is we have traditional clubs. Those are likely to be the foundation, the heart of Rotary going forward for the foreseeable future. That is certainly true in our district. But we also know that the traditional clubs don't always meet the needs of people who'd like to come alongside us and join us in service. And so what are other ways to bring them in? And that is to provide these flexible format clubs inside of employers, inside of retirement homes, interact clubs, cause-based clubs. It's just an opportunity to extend Rotary, not to undermine what we've got, but to expand it.
Awesome. I have a couple more questions and I'm gonna get to the two with hands raised. One comment for Kathy to talk about the book club.
Oh, yeah. One of the things we've done at Seattle 4, and we will be launching district-wide in the new Rotary year, is a district read. In our club, it was a club read, where we read and discussed books that had relevance against a current topic. So, for example, our club's Peace Builder Committee just recently completed a series of book discussions on Robin DiAngelo's book, White Fragility. We read and discussed So You Want to Talk About Race. A few years back, we took a look and read and discussed the Ta-Nehisi Coates book, Between the World and Me. And so we've met with great success at the club level with that initiative. And Jessica Bouillon, our district Peace Builder chair, will be initiating a district book club, I guess you would say, but around relevant social challenges in that peace building arena. Jessica, if you're on, I hope I've represented that well.
Virginia asks.
Henry?
Yeah.
I wanted to step back a little bit and kind of follow through with the question that Larry asked about the specialized club. Do we want to risk of destroying the strength and diversity of Rotary clubs? We did a complete study going back 3 years and talked to Rotarians and why they left. And I think it's very important is that they left for basically 3 reasons, and one of them was because you didn't have the flexibility time, and you weren't meeting also what they wanted to go ahead and do within Rotary. In other words, people weren't listening to them. So for the people that are in Rotary right now, it actually fits and it works with the group that we have right now. But looking forward and thinking about the people who've actually left, I go, Rotary underneath the old format, the traditional format, more or less, wasn't really the answer for them. And yet we're finding out as these clubs are coming, the new formats are coming up across the whole nation, we're not losing memberships as we're gaining because of the flexibility, because of the different things going on. Our district's been a little bit slow on this, and other districts across the nation and across the world have been more aggressive. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of learn from some of the mistakes and things like this. And so I think it's a very exciting thing to do, and it's something that I know that's working. And I don't think it's going to hurt the traditional clubs because I really enjoy going to my club meetings. These are my best friends. They're my family. So so we have to attract, and the way to do that is to have the flexibility. And I hope that answers your question a little bit more, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go to a couple hand raises. So Howard, and then I'll go to Brenda next. Howard, you can feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi there. Well, it's a thrill to listen to Bill and listen to Kathy with Bill's review of the year and Kathy's initiatives going forward. I just want to, I love reality, and I want to be able to bring a little bit of reality to what Bill's year is, which is Rotary Connects the World, and Kathy's year, which will be Rotary Opens Opportunities, along with one of Kathy's initiatives of Elevate Rotaract. And tonight, we are pleased to be part of a new Rotaract sister club. Back in Nepal, they call it a twinship club. And the Rotaract Club of Seattle University and the Rotaract Club of Liberty College in Kathmandu is actually signing their agreement tonight. And it's a 1-year agreement, starts with Kathy's year. And they hope to do service projects if it's going to be a Zoom program, of course. And if anybody's interested in participating in that or joining us, I will put my email address in the chat box and would love to have you join us. That is a true example of Kathy's first initiative of Elevate Rotaract, and really a testimonial to Rotary Connects the Worlds and Rotary Opens Opportunities. So I'll put my name in there and look forward to hoping to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you, Howard. I'm going to go to Brenda now. You can ask your question.
Hi, Brenda.
All right, this is Brenda. How are you? Thank you so much for leading us through all of this wonderful training. I have attended most all the classes. A few I missed. I hope to go back and recapture those. But first of all, thank you, Bill, for your leadership this last year. I've learned so much, and I'm embarking on my presidential year, and I'm kind of nervous. So
Great.
I thank you, Kathy, too, for leading us in the future. And I just want to say, we started about 17 years ago under Nancy Keenholz Dalton, Family of Rotary, and I've led that for 17 years. And it has been a wonderful opportunity for me to grow and learn about our community within our Rotary Club, the individuals that I have had an opportunity to share some of their experiences in life, and it's been wonderful. And some of them are struggling right now, as you know. Anyway, so we're going to continue. In fact, we're embracing more than ever our Family of Rotary. We've established, the Angel Brigade, and we reach out. We meet every other Wednesday, and that has been really, I think, a stronghold of our club right now. Reaching forward here, I have some comments. I'd like to know if you could share the leadership training of the different district areas like sustainability of the environment. You have their names and pictures, but is there some way that we can connect with them? I'd like to be able to have those, I think there are about 12 individuals, to somehow connect with our club, or if they could set up a time that they would be able to talk, via Zoom with our members of our club, those areas, because there is an interest in that environmental sustainability, plus other areas too, that we could strengthen our club. Thank you.
Good, good. The slides I shared with the district leadership team, and there are actually more leaders, we just couldn't get them all on the slide. I will have, if Bill doesn't mind, we'll put it in the next district newsletter. And then of course, those individuals will be posted on our district website. And we've got thanks to Karma McKay, we've got a great live organizational chart, I'll say, where you just click on the individual and it will take you right to an email that you can send to them. So it's easy to connect with them if you've got questions or follow-up or want to get involved. So we want to make those individuals reachable.
Yeah, it's a
Good luck, Brenda, you're going to be great.
Yeah, it's a PDF file, and over the years I've saved that PDF file to my desktop, so it's always there. So I can always just open it up and click when I need to go to it.
Everyone is one click away.
Yeah, to a specific purpose. I mean, a person. So.
Awesome. So we're a couple minutes past 11, so I'm going to read two more comments from the Q&A and then maybe have one last question. So comment from Jeffrey following up. The comment was the NAACP is looking to evolve their brand and how they work in the community. And the thought is there might be an opportunity to work with them at the district level. Susan had a comment that the Zoom sessions have been great for gathering in the district assembly, and she hopes that we do this format instead in the future.
Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you.
And then last question from Virginia McKenzie. Do you have some standout examples of clubs innovating or reorganizing themselves?
I would say they're all over. There has been so much experimentation. And that's wonderful, and some of it's working and some of it isn't. Everything from changing the actual meeting time to front loading a speaker and then having club business at the end. I've seen some very creative ways to collect happy bucks. If you participated in Kate Peterson's session the other night about online fundraising, and that just is probably the tip of the iceberg. I don't know, Bill, what else are you seeing?
Well, yeah, one of the most impressive things that I've seen is Zoom allows you to bring in people that you would not normally bring in as a speaker, especially to the smaller clubs. I mean, Mercer Island had Slade Gordon, for instance. These are speakers that we actually, Seattle Ford might usually have. The school superintendent for North Shore School District, Dr. Reed, spoke at the North Shore Rotary, and she was a phenomenal speaker. And I've heard of speakers being, who was it, Kathy, that had the, it was Lake Union, they had the speaker from the head of Johns Hopkins Hospital. And that was, very, very informative. So you can use this as an opportunity to really expand out your speakers and really kind of stretch out some of the things that you can do with the club and really have some exciting informational type things that are within the club. It's wide open with Zoom because you don't have to, a half hour or 20 minutes having a speaker speaking big across the whole world. And I think if we focus on that, coming up to Kathy's year, we're not quite sure how that's going to look. We're districts across, up and down the West Coast, across the United States. We're going to learn from each other as we move forward, the best way how to do this. And we're going to be, as Kathy said, trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations, and we're going to try some different things out until it works. It's an exciting time, but because of the flexibility, we can open up the doors a lot more.
I would just, if I could add on to what Bill said, I would encourage us all to be visiting Rotarians
Yes.
the rest of this month and throughout the summer, because now while virtually every club in our district is online, it's easy to be a visiting Rotarian and go and experience. Each club has maintained its culture and many of its traditions, and it's so easy to go and experience that, join them. As I've had an opportunity to be a visiting Rotarian in clubs all over the district, it's been welcoming. I've learned a lot. It's a unique opportunity right now while we're basically all online for us to get even closer together by visiting each other in our different clubs. And I think it would also provide some insight and some ideas for things you might want to try in terms of innovating at your own club.
I think the University Club has something that's really unique. I think they have a coffee, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think they have a coffee Zoom meeting. So in the morning, it's not with their club, but they get together coffee-wise. And I know that I believe they also reach out and have a specific call tree, and they make sure that all the Rotarians are called and find out and making sure if they need any help. And again, that comes back to the retention. That becomes the membership committee. That's the importance of the family. The same reason how you actually take care of your own family members and finding out that your sisters, your brothers, your parents are okay. These Rotarians, your members, they're basically family members too. So you make these phone calls and make sure they're okay. Yeah.
Great. So I think we'll close out there. So everyone, as a reminder, remember we have 2 more bonus sessions next week. So be sure to attend those. So very relevant to what we're doing now. So what changes you want to see in Rotary, and then there's one on really using that online format and embracing that, which I think will be a powerful tool well beyond the near term. So if there's any final thoughts, Kathy or Bill, before we close it down.
I'd like to thank you, Henry, for being our tech
Yep.
this morning. Thank you.
Thank you,
all.
Henry. Yep. You beat me to it, Kathy.
All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. And again, this recording will be available. So if you want to go back and watch it at any time. Bye.
Thank you much.
Thank you. Stay well.